Hi everyone, I'm going to do a run through on the pound dollar this week, just to make sure everyone's kind of following along. So right at the moment I'm just trading the new highs and new lows of the day. I'm not even taking just the straight breakouts. I wait for a high and then I go short, and I wait for a new low and I go long. Just really simple like that. So I just want to kind of run through all the trades I took this week, and just to show that sometimes it doesn't go exactly to plan, but it doesn't make any difference. So this was Monday, and the first. So we broke out, we made a new high, and this was my first short here with a stop over the high. And then I'm looking for us to make new lows, and there was our new low with a breakout here. Okay, so hedged at this point, and then this one stops out when we spike up to a new high here, and then I took this short here. So at the end of Monday I had this hedge here, okay, and then I go on to the next day and just repeat that process. So here was our new high after the Asian session. This was my first short here, and then we made a new low and reversed, and this was my long here. So again, we're hedged, and this has stopped out now, and I have this extra long from here. Okay, so then this short stops out, and then we have a new high and a short from there, and then we came down, and this just came right up to my stop loss and touched it, but it didn't stop me out, which was nice, because that would have been another bit of cost to add to the scenario. So at the end of Tuesday I am holding this long here, and this short, and this long. Okay, so I've got this tight hedge on Tuesday and a long from Monday still running. And then the next day, this was our first short off a new high. Okay, I actually missed this trade because I was still in bed. So I actually woke up when we were down here, and I looked at it and I thought, right, well, what do? Do I add a position now, or do I just accept that I've missed that trade? And always in those scenarios, what's in the back of my mind is that in the long run, those sort of things kind of pan out. Some of them work out as being good luck, some of them work out as going against you. So I don't really sort of beat myself up about that. I see it all as being 50-50 really, and you just kind of step into the game, and the opportunities come along, and when you get when the opportunity there is to sort of get out with profit, then that's what you do. You make your decision. Again, your exit decisions are 50-50 really, and you just kind of have to roll with that. But after a while, you kind of realise that it kind of cuts both ways, and if you're taking the highs and lows like this, you're going to get a lot of opportunities to get out, get through the week and have a profitable week. Sure, you're going to miss some really nice big winning weeks where you could have won more, but you just have to learn to stop beating yourself up about that, and just kind of see it as like a almost like a sport really. You're going to go out there and you're going to do your best. You kind of got a good strategy, and your skill level's pretty high, and you just kind of know that over time you're going to be consistent without trying to sort of agonize over every decision. You kind of just have to go with the flow a little bit. So anyway, that's where we're at. Obviously I missed this short, but it's a perfectly valid short. So at this point you'd be two shorts, this one and this one, and you'd have this long and this long. Okay, and then we have this long setup from the low here. Okay, and then price finally broke up yesterday, taking out these two shorts, leaving you with 3 positions long. Okay, now we didn't get let me just take some of the rubbish off again. So I'm long from here and here and here, and then at the end of the day here, what we're looking for is a short trigger, so we can place a short in and perhaps manage these 2 positions. But it didn't come. I had my pending set here again. It just came down, touched my pending, didn't trigger a short. So at the end of the night, I'm going to bed with 3 exposed longs here, and it's quite possible that the next day could have just broken down without giving me a new high and a short setup. So that's possible. So I made a judgment call. I said, right, well, I've got some profit here. It's covering all of my losses so far this week and getting me to my target for the week, but I'm not quite ready to stop trading yet. So how can I manage this position, give me a chance to get a bit more profit, but at the same time, if the worst case scenario happens, it's going to cover my arse a bit. So I moved to take profit from these 2 positions up to where my pending short was, and I left this long with it stop below the low. So if price had reversed, then I've covered my losses and a small bit of profit with these 2 trades, and I still have this long here if it did sort of tap me and then race off long. So I just kind of made the best guess that I could make in that scenario. And when I'm making that guess, I'm looking at my risk, I'm looking at my costs so far this week, and I'm looking at my profits, and I'm also considering my target. And as it happened, when I woke up in the morning, these 2 longs had taken profit, and we'd had a new high, and I sold short here. So now again, I have this hedge set up. We made a new low, we tried to go long, it didn't happen, and then at this point I thought, okay, I've given it a chance to sort of drive long again in the London session. Hasn't happened. I've got my target for the week on GU, so I just closed out my positions. I actually left this short at break even. I thought, well, you never know, it might just drop 60 pips and I get a little bonus as well. Okay, but I've got no risk left on that. So you can see there the sort of decisions are very sort of accepting of the fact that I'm not trying to work out what's happening next. I'm saying, right, what's the worst case scenario? How much risk do I want to leave on the table? Do I want to take my profit off and call it a week? So I'm just kind of balancing stuff up with reasoning, rather than saying, well, this has got to happen next because of this technical scenario or the other, or this is the best thing to do now because of what I've tested in the past. Because I know it's still, no matter what, it's 50-50. If we look at Tuesday, this was the long I took here, and I put my stop just further enough that it didn't get tapped out here. If it had been taken out, then I would have had another loss, and I would have taken this long here. And at the same scenario, I missed this short here, and that saved me an extra loss there. Okay, but if the worst case scenario had happened all the way through, I still would have made my target for the week. Okay, I've added it all up. If this had stopped out and I'd taken this one and it had stopped out, the 3 longs will still have made me my target for the week. It just so happens that I made a little bit more because of, where you can call it randomness or luck. Luck that it didn't tap out my stop here, and a bit of luck that I overslept and missed a loser here. That's kind of how it pans out, and you've got to kind of learn to roll with that rather than sort of agonize over those things and try and find a solution to it, because there isn't a solution. Basically, it's not possible to always make the best decision. You just got to kind of roll with the whole 50-50 scenario of everything. So that's where I'm at, and I've closed out. And obviously, if you wanted to sort of continue trading for the week, you'd now have this short from the high, and then we've made a new low and broken out here. So you'd have this hedge on GU now, and be waiting for that to kind of to play out. Why am I not stacking inside and just taking the highs and lows? It's just a little bit more relaxed at the moment, and as you can tell by oversleeping here by 2 hours, I've just been staying up a bit later in the evenings, so I've just decided to kind of reduce the decision process during the day, and not only that, I think if perhaps you're just starting to trade this on intraday, just trading the high lows is and then making your decisions when new high lows trigger is a really simple framework to work around, and it kind of gives you a lot less decisions to make intraday. So it might really suit some people. It was kind of my original high-low idea, and it always works out really nicely. As to this idea of like having a target and stopping trading when you've gone past that target, let's say 150 pips for the week, my data is suggesting that it's a really good way to approach this. I'm not saying it's going to be right for everyone, but what I see in my backtest data is I see lots and lots of weeks where I made a small loss, and in sort of 90% of those small loss weeks, I did at some point during the week go over my target. So in other words, I probably had a good couple of days and then gave it all back and ended up with a small loss when the market kind of went sideways after that. And I see a lot of those weeks, and obviously the other side to the coin is that the weeks where it just runs perfectly all week, you would have kind of stopped trading and missed out on some extra profit there, but I see very few of those. So it's just kind of something to look at, and do like I do, look back at your weekly data and then go and look at those weeks and see if perhaps you'd sort of set a reasonable target, whether over the long term it'd improve your bottom line, and sort of going beyond just the profit. If you can get consistent doing that, then there's going to be a lot of weeks where Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, you can shut up shop and stop trading, and there isn't really any negatives in that. It's trading H1 every day is it's tiring, it's hard work, and we've all got other commitments and things that we like to do as well. So that's a little update on the pound dollar. I will do one on the euro dollar soon as well. Leave comments below, and I'll see you soon.